Hello, everybody. We're now on part 2, Mitzvah Hashem. Hopefully, we'll finish this. Set base of Migdash. This was this Yechidus Kali Orchim Sheyichya. It's a general Yechidus, a private audience for a group of people. It says, by the help of Hashem, from the talk of the night, entering the 4th day of the week of Parshas Shmini, the 26th of Nissan, 5751. And this was translated from the Yiddish. This is a book from the last year the Rebbe spoke. Dvar Malchus is a book we get. You can get this online. You can also get this if you want to get it. It's, I don't know if you can see it here. It's Living Moshiach, my friend. His website, livingmoshiach.com. Let's see if I can get this up to you so you can see it. Where is it? There? No, I'm sorry. There it is. You also get it on Amazon, but it'd be more expensive, I think. Anyway, this is livingmoshiach.com. You get the book. Very good books. So, where was I? Page 3, what is
169.
Sorry, guys. So, anyway, so we're talking about the idea of how special in times of redemption, 69, especially the 26th of Nissan is right after Pesach. Pesach is the month of freedom, Acherus, and the first day of the holiday has to do with the freedom from Egypt, from Egypt. The first redemption and the final has to do with the final redemption. And we're talking about how each day and each month, everything has to do more with more miracles. This is a month of miracles. So everything has more and more miracles in it. So that's what we talked about here. And then we're talking about also, it was very special by the portion of the week, because we're reading portion Shmini, which has to do with that it was said 8 times because Shabbos came because of Pesach, which is the first day and the last day, we came out on Shabbos, so therefore we didn't read the Parsha on Shabbos, so we read 3 weeks in a row the same Parsha. Well, I mean, we read it by Mincha, but we didn't read it by the... So we're talking about it, and that makes it special. Shmini, Shmona, that it's 8 has to do with good and a fat year, a special year. So he's explaining how everything is very special. Okay, so this is part 2. Now we're on Gimel, on the third one. It says, in order of the redemption and leaving of Egypt was in general, that the beginning of the redemption and the miracles was with the great miracle, even before the Pesach holiday, the smote of the firstborn. Hold on, let me see what's saying over here. I'm not getting the drift. They're saying by trying to give in but close. So how was the order from going out from Egypt? As scholars at first we started with miracles, redemption miracles. Is their nesgadol. So what was the first great miracle, the first amazing miracle? That was after Pesach. What was the big miracle? It was from Malchum Mitzrayim v'Choreim. So the miracle, when the Jews, before we left Mitzrayim, Hashem told the Egyptians, told Dvar, that I'm going to kill your firstborn. All the first were going to die. So what happened is the firstborn believed in God. They believed and knew it was true, so they got in a fight with everybody else to try and get everybody else that would let the Jews go and not keep them. So this was one of the great miracles, that even before the Passover holiday, the smote of the Egyptians with their firstborn, that specifically the firstborn Egyptians themselves hit the Egyptians in a matter of smote specifically, not killing or the like. They didn't go totally crazy. They tried to stop them. Since the firstborn did not kill all the Egyptians, only some of them, rather smote them. On the contrary, in smote, what it means they hit, there's a virtue. That the Egyptians themselves came later to the realization of the miracles themselves and pushed the Jews out of Egypt. So he says, this is an amazing thing. He says, first of all, they didn't come by and just chop their heads off and kill them viciously. They got in a fight, trying to convince him, fighting with him. And they some died, but not all of them. A lot just got beat up. And he says it's at such a level that it affected that you think, well, okay, that was just the firstborn. They died. What did it do? The Rebbe says there's an amazing thing. He says it affected all the Egyptians, that they realized from this that God is in charge and they're afraid of God. And that because of this, they kicked the Jews out of Egypt. They said, get out of here, because they know this is what God wanted them to do. Including the completion and the end. Hold on. And after this, on the 15th of Nissan, so Shabbos HaGadol was the 10th of Nissan, 10th of the month, there was the exodus in Egypt in actuality and specifically in a manner, and the Egyptians urged the nation to be quick, to send them out. When Paro sent out the nation, the Jewish people went out in completeness with great wealth, their silver and their gold with them, and in a manner that they emptied out Egypt, the silver vessels and the gold vessels and the clothing, including that also what they did not ask from, they gave them. In other words, at such a level that when we left Egypt, that we took everything out, that they told us to get out of here, and when they told us they take everything. Not only they say everything you have, take it all. We don't want any of your stuff, but here is more, including the completion and the end of the leaving of Egypt at the splitting of the Red Sea. For even when the Jewish people left Egypt, the Egyptians remained in their strength, to the extent that the Egyptians ran after them, and that there was the possibility of the fear of the Egyptians on them. Whereas through the drowning of the Egyptians in the sea, there did not remain, the interesting thing, there did not remain of them but one. Only one Egyptian left. Who was that? Pharaoh. And aside from the one, Pharaoh, the king of Egypt, who became the king of Nineveh after this, so that he will see the miracles and the wonders that Hashem did for the Jewish people. It's a very interesting thing. You know, I always was thinking until I learned this, that why was it that Pharaoh was so much punished? Well, why should he be so much punished? God made him harden his heart 5 times. So it says over here, what happened is that God saved him. And when do we save him for? A very interesting thing. When do we talk about Nineveh? It's to talk about when Yonah, the whale. We talk about that on Kippur. Minutes by Yom Kippur. So that's a special time, very, very special, that people try to spend thousands of dollars. It's supposed to be a special school for Parnassa. And this is talking about who? Who was in Nineveh? Paro. Paro was the one, the bad Paro, who did all these terrible things. He was the one who made everybody do tshuva. It's always, it doesn't talk about it, but I was always like Hashem paid him back. Hashem said, okay, I'm going to really use you, because he used him so that the Jews should be wondered, that the world should wonder how the power of Hashem is. Baruch Hashem, we're going to see more of this. Like right now, we should see many more of the Egyptians, of the people dying, of the Hamas. That we can't. Like, it's interesting. I was reading this that when they left, there was never the fear about them anymore. They emptied them out. They weren't for fear. They had no more strength left. And this is what we're talking now, that we have to be strong and kill al Hamas and kill the Hezbollah and get them that there's no more strength left. We can't leave them there that they should have any strength. Baruch Hashem, we have to ask Hashem that this should be true, and we should not listen or be affected by the nations of the world. Now one for it. So it says, as the days you left, this whole sikh is talking about the war with Saddam Hussein. Very interesting. There's a lot of direct correlations to what we're living to right now. Number 4, as the days you left Egypt, I shall show you wonders. So what's this mean? Every person can see clearly how the miracles of the exodus from Egypt are reflected now in the victory of these days, both in the actuality victory as well as the time when it was taking place, especially in the auspicious days of the month of Nissan, which within this year, the specific time, the phenomenon of the freedom even more emphasized and explained above. The Rebbe is talking about it. He's talking about this is like the end when Saddam Hussein finally totally gave up and totally surrendered everything. It happened a day or two after this. This is very special time, and that the big miracles. Already before the holiday of Passover, there was a smote the Egyptians with the firstborn. That the firstborn, the nations of the world. They're talking about the United Nations, that they went, and that the whole leaders of the world, the firstborn, like the leaders of the main nations, including the country of Egypt, Arabic countries that are nearer it, in accordance with the decision that the representative of the United Nations waged a war and smote Mitzrayim, Egypt, Atzur HaYehudim, enemy of Jewish people, Mitzarim, of an idiom of Meitzer, oppression of the Jewish people, heaven forfend. So all the people, I mean, you have to look at it. If you look at Google about the war, you'll see what happened. It's just this amazing thing. They all got together and they said that we're going to destroy Saddam Hussein. We're going to weaken him and make sure that he has no more power and he leaves. Eventually, they killed him. On the day of Purim this year, the Rebbe says, the year that I shall show them wonders, there was a victory as the nations of the world announced, and his downfall in a moment of smote, not kill. Remember, we said before by the firstborn that they smoked. They didn't kill a few died, but they were more just fighting. They smote, not killed, and specifically by non-Jews. Who did this? Who took down Saddam Hussein? Was the non-Jews, who degraded and disgraced him and forced him to regret his previous activities. And he had to agree and accept and fulfill all the commands and the instructions and the demands that he got from the firstborn, of the heads of the nations, freeing a portion of the prisoners of war, and also fulfilling the other things that they demanded from him. So this happened on Purim. And afterwards there was a continuation of this in the month of Nissan, and within itself, in the days of Passover, the time of our redemption, that their firstborn in the United Nations continued reprimanding and disgracing him. During the days of Purim and after this, we did not yet know, the Rebbe is going to say that we didn't know basically what happened here. We weren't sure how far the United Nations would go. The nations who, I don't know if they're not yet, the United Nations would go. During the days of Purim and after this, we did not yet know what will be the continuation, to what degree they will degrade and damage them, and how strong how strong he will remain, and how much will he need to admit to and compensate, and how and how will he accept all of this? But this will be through others. How much will he need to admit and to compromise, and how will he accept all of this, or this will be through others afterwards means there in Hebrew. Afterwards, in the month of Nisan, in the days of Passover. So what's going to happen now? That their firstborn came out with a strong reproach and a decision with conclusions and strong conditions. In addition to the previous instructions, how Saddam Hussein has to act, and also to see to it and make sure that he fulfills it, freeing the captives, returning what he taken, and pay for the injuries and damages that he did now, and also from that which had been done for him before. In other words, they came after him and they made him pay everything. They made him take care of it. The Rebbe said, we didn't know this. We didn't know what happened, but this is further the miracles of how they're taking care of this son of Yisrael, this true anti-Semite. And in the continuation of the days of the month, including the recent days of the month, the miracle was even greater, that he would agree to all of it. He said, okay, without any protest or war, to agree that he revealed money to such a degree. How would they do that? They revealed money and possessions which he hid, that until now they did not at all that he had. They did not know at all that he had. So in other words, he had things in that nobody knew about, and he told everybody about it. So now we're on number 5. So the Rebbe is talking about how this amazing person was brought down, the anti-Semite, in our days. It's like they're going out from Egypt. The Egyptians were the great anti-Semites. With this, we have an answer for the Jews. Who asks, presently, in a year I will show you wonders, I will show them wonders. Where do we see miracles and wonders? Moreover, similarly to the miracles and the wonders of Exodus from Egypt and Purim. And so Rebbe is saying this is this is an answer. So we'll see what Rebbe's going to tell us, that this is beyond belief what's happening, and it's totally from beginning to end. You can see Hashem's hand directly involved in this, in saving the Jewish people, and it's even more than by Purim. He'll explain very interesting stuff. It is only necessary to open one's eyes and to look at recent events in that part of the world as published in the newspapers. We see very clearly that the miracles and the wonders that has happened and is happening, similar to the miracles of the Exodus Mitzrayim, for the good of the Jewish people and the good of the whole world, beginning with smote Egyptians with their firstborn, the firstborn of the nations of the world, themselves nullified the power, the rulership of oppression of the Jewish people and the oppressor of other people, including non-Jews, and he returns that which he took away, and he pays the damages, including all the hidden things that he had hid. So this is a very, very, the Rebbe says that this is amazing, beyond belief. So, moreover, the miracles are taking place in the days of the year which are especially connected to the miracles of the Jewish people, the days of Purim, where there was a miracle and a victory and a redemption of the Jewish people, and the downfall of the wicked Haman, the oppressor of the Jewish people, in the kingdom of Persia and Madai, in Iran, and in Iran and Iraq, I think, and redemption is to be near redemption. Hold on. One second, sorry. Okay, that's what I mean. Okay, so it has over here. So one is a redemption. Okay, let's go from the beginning. Moreover, the miracles are taking place in the days of the year which are especially connected to the miracles for the Jewish people. The days of Purim, as we said before, that's when this started, when there was a miracle and a victory and the redemption of Jewish people, and the downfall of wicked Haman, the oppressor of the Jewish people, in the kingdom of Persia and Madai, and the redemption to be near redemption. So in other words, that means geula l'geula. Like you join redemption to redemption. The idea of the redemption of Egypt should be with joined to redemption of going out from Egypt, which would be tied into the final redemptions. The days of the month of Egypt and the days of Passover, the redemption of the Jewish people from Egypt, and in the matter of miracles and wonders. And on the contrary, the miracle Purim was a miracle clothed in nature. As such, only through the connecting of the beginning of the kingdomship of Achashverosh on the 3rd year of his kingdomship, with the 7th year of his kingdomship, and with the month of Nissan in the 12th year of his kingdomship, and with the Milah of Esther for Achashverosh and Haman, etc., making from them all one continuation in matter, and thinking into it, will be one recognize that this is the hand of Hashem. That was the whole thing leading up to finally Esther with the destroying of the Jews, the Haman and fighting back. There are many different things. When we look back, we'll see they're all one. God was running the show. Whereas in the present occurrence, open miracles and wonders are happening, clearly seen not only to the Jews, rather to all the nations, other nations. So here, in our case, it was very clear from the beginning, and the miracles are happening, as said, in the month of Nisan, as such that from the day to day within the month of Nisan itself, there are new developments regarding the decision of the firstborn in the United Nations and in the agreement of Saddam, that as were in these days at the end of the month of Nisan, the month of the redemption, hold on a second, as was in these days in the end of the month of Nisan, the month of redemption, and we expect there will be a continuation in this direction tonight or tomorrow and the following day, etc. I looked this up on the internet, and it was the next day, I think, that he just totally capitulated to everything. He's like a total 100% surrender. Amazing. The Rebbe said, and it happened like if the night before. I have to look it up. Another 6. Let's see how far we got to go here. Yeah. Okay, so let's do one more. Okay. Another matter in recent years in which we see miracles and wonders. And Rebbe is very important because the Rebbe is telling us you have to see miracles and wonders. You have to look and see them, and to be grateful and be happy and be joyous and be singing. This is important because then we see, because a priest could say, we're really, like we said earlier, people could say, well, we don't really see miracles today. We've heard about the miracles in Mitzvah, but really don't see it. The Rebbe is saying there is, and he's showing us what they are and how to see it. So very important is in learning how to serve Hashem and doing the avodah from the Rebbe. Another matter in recent events in which we see miracles and wonders is the leaving of the vast number of Jews from the country of Russia, which is similar to leaving of Egypt. That when at that time Russia, before the fall of the wall and everything, there was a terrible time for the Jews. A big gullus, a big Egypt. And for many years of the conduct in a completely different manner, now after many years of a conduct in a completely different manner, in which the Jewish people were not able to leave from there. Indeed, specifically this year and the year before this country opened its gates to allow the Jewish people to leave and ascend to Eretz Israel, and even if, for whatever reason, some of them stopped off and settled in temporary in other countries, in America or in Australia or alike, they were very soon moved truly, willingly, with joy and gladness and of heart to the Holy Land together with their families. The Rebbe is saying amazing thing. So he's saying that everybody, that the Jews were all allowed to leave Egypt, allowed to leave Russia, and they're all going to come to Israel. And if you live in the Kutzlars, you don't see it, but here you see it. You see Jews from all over the world, all sizes, colors, makes, whatever you want to say, from every place. And many of Jews, they lived outside Israel, and they came in. There may be a lot of Russian Jews, different ones, who all coming here. Everything that's the true thing that we're going to see, and we're going to see the miracles of all these Jews leaving out of Egypt and settling in the Holy Land, to a degree that the country itself helps them leave there. That Russia helped themselves, similar to how it was at the leaving of Egypt. That with its goal was to go out to the Holy Land, and I will bring you to the land, including helping with the hidden things of Egypt. That they use this also to the extent of the portion, as well as from other monies of other countries. So what's he saying here? Go over it in Hebrew and Yiddish. So until the country itself gave this up, Rashi said this, that Begdubim is given similar how it was by when we left Egypt. But Takliso is given to gain in Eretz Kodesh. The whole reason we left Egypt was to go into the Holy Land. But basically, Eskim el Haaretz, Kolo Auch, Sia from the Dvar, Gunuzim from Mitzrayim. So this, to help us to go and to live in the land of Israel, this was also helped with the help of the Mitzrayim, of the Egyptians. They took their hidden treasures and gave it to the Jews. Kanal, as minutz them auch. Then others saying how Russia helped us also. This is a therefore this is important from the portion of this as a ach from Andrer Gelter from Andrer Medinus comes on to you, that they also money from other nations comes to the idea. Achenu b'nei Yisrael was Zion Saras and get Saras. It's the shrine from Mitzrayim that the Jews coming out of Egypt. Well, Hashem makes him go in much of constraints from Medina, he from that nation, which is Russia. But do maybe it is a good but you see it's the shrine. In the Rebbe shrine, the miracles that are happening, so it's very similar like when we left Mitzrayim the first time. But he now says it's trying, and we emptied out Egypt. It says, Av Mashalu, are you Shalim, are you Nostim Lamb? And the things that they wouldn't give, that they didn't ask, they gave to them. So, let's go over in English. The degree, now the Rebbe is trying to show us why it's so special. At first, he talked us about how this hater of the Jews was the Goyim got together and they did him in, and they bid him in, and they beat him up, and he gave everything out. He gave even what he didn't have to give. He gave his own. He said no. If he hadn't mentioned it, nobody would know about it. And then he says the similar thing is like now we see that in Russia that they let all the Jews out, and all the Jews are going out to Egypt to go to Israel, even those who first went to live in outside Israel. They're all going to finally come to Israel. So it says that this is a great, amazing miracle that's happening, and not only that, he points out how the government helped the Jews out financially, helped us. Not like in Egypt, that before the Jews left, the Egyptians gave them all their hidden treasures. So let's read this over in English. To the degree that the country itself helps them leave, that's similar to how it was at the leaving of Egypt, which its goal was to go out to the Holy Land. It says, and I will bring you to the land, the Holy Land, including also helping with the hidden things of Egypt, that they use this also to the extent that a portion of it, as well as from other money from nations, comes to Jews, and not only from Russia, but other nations also give them money, that our brothers, the Jewish people that just came out and are coming out now as an Egyptian exile from the Mitzvah, Egypt, which in Edom, Mitzrayim, the limitations of that country, similar to as it was at the leaving of Egypt the first time, that they emptied out Egypt to a degree that even what they did not ask for, they would give them, and also all the hidden things. And the Rebbe is saying they helped us tremendously. We're going to take a break now. Mitzvah Hashem will finish this next time. But the main thing is the Rebbe is talking about that we have to really see miracles and get excited over it and be like, wow, this is amazing. This is beyond belief. And we'll finish up the next time on this. And this is what's this Nogea? What's this relevant to today? Because today we're having these big miracles. I mean, we have these guys trying to kill us and murder us. Unfortunately, there are some people dying. But not they're Tzfas. This is what, a couple of weeks after Pesach. I was in Tzfas. We were having the Seder the first night. I didn't know anything. After we only had one night in Eretz Yisrael. So the next day, I heard that they sent 35 missiles to Tzfas to try and we didn't even know about it. They all missed. Hashem should make even more and more. This is a very, very miraculous times. And what's very, very miraculous now is that you see that there are nations that are giving money to Israel. And not only that, you see with all this anti-Semitism that the people of America specifically are standing up and saying, we don't want this. And that they're going after these people, these anti-Semites, who just want to kill us and murder us and do terrible things. And they're standing up for us. And never before in the recent history, at least, that's why Israel was founded, because nobody wanted to take the Jews. Nobody was on. And the Jews were open game. Nobody would stand up for us, really. Now people are upset. Like most Americans are very upset. And they're seeing what's happening. And they're standing up for the Jewish people because they're coming to realize also that it's them that they're also at trial, that they're also at risk. Like the Egyptians. The Egyptians, the firstborn, realized that they're at risk, they're going to die. There's going to be something bad happen. We really believe what God is going to do this. So now there's like, we see, I saw something that's like amazing to me. I'm not to make analogies to how I see it. This is taken for what you want. I'm not like a Rebbe or anything. So, but anyways, I saw that they had these people, Free Palestine, singing all, and then who came out was like the firstborn, the heads of the fraternities. They're like the guys that were like the central guys in the university heads, and their special fraternity, special group of guys, they live, it's a special thing. And they got up and they started saying free, reading about America, and they just stopped the whole thing. They're like the firstborn. They're standing up against the enemy, because they're realizing that it's not only an enemy for us, just like the Rebbe said here, that we destroyed Saddam Hussein, that was not only an enemy of the Jews, he was an enemy of all the nations. And these people are standing up, and you see Senate hearings where they're going after these people, and the people who are responsible, they're kicking them out of office. I mean, it's amazing. It's amazing. You know, I've talked to friends. A friend of mine lives in Texas. You know, he was with a little guy, comes up to him, a big, big Texas-looking guy. He's maybe a little afraid. The guy says, I want to tell you guys, I'm totally behind what you're doing. And the people are really, really seeing what the truth is, and doing what Hashem wants us to do. It's Hashem should look down and see this wonderfulness, and there should be no more Jews die, or no more Goyim die, and we should have Gula Shlema. Sei gesund, and have a wonderful time, a good night or day, whenever this is.